I'm going to break down how to run an effective sales call from initial setup all the way through securing next steps. My name is Barbuto, and I've been working in AdTech sales for the past decade. I've run hundreds of sales calls, and I've been on plenty of them as the prospect as well. Some of those calls have been a huge success, others disaster. Whether your sales call is successful often comes down to how qualified the prospect is and how prepared the salesperson is. A successful sales meeting is not about whether the salesperson feels productive. It's about whether the prospect does. And it all starts before the meeting even begins. Preparation is key. Before your call, you need to make sure that you're speaking to the right person, someone that you truly believe that you can help. This starts with targeting the right prospects that fit your ideal customer profile. That's your perfect prospect, somebody that can clearly benefit from your solution and has the ability to invest in it. To make your meeting productive, you need to prepare. 3 places that you should look before entering into any sales meeting is your CRM. Check out any history that you have with the company, any past interactions. Then you want to check out both your prospect's LinkedIn profile as well as the company's profile. You can find out a lot, how they describe themselves, what do they talk about in their roles and responsibilities, what they posted about, as well as their history. You want to try to get an understanding as to how experienced they are, as well as their core responsibilities, so that you can talk about what's most relevant when you're going into the meeting. You also can get a lot of information from their company's LinkedIn profile. You're able to see key people, you're able to see how they describe themselves in a short blurb, what offerings that they have. Then you want to check out the company's website. Check out their offerings, key partnerships that are listed, and what their differentiator is, because how they position themselves will be a key factor in how you could potentially help them. Once you've done your research, take one more step. Email your prospect any questions that you have from your research that you weren't able to find out, and ask them what they want to talk about. This will help you determine what is going to be the most important factors when you enter into your sales meeting. Now let's jump into how to conduct an effective sales meeting. When your prospect joins the call, start with a smile, show genuine appreciation for their time, and try to build some initial rapport. Ask about their day, reference how you secure the meeting, talk about any past history that you're able to find out, and mention any sort of mutual connections. Then quickly establish credibility by referencing something that you found from your research. You could say something like, I saw on your website that you launched a new service. Has that been as crazy for you as it has been for some of my other clients? This shows that you've done your homework and that you're someone worth listening to. Next, you want to set expectations. Outline the agenda clearly. Here's how I'd like to structure the call. I'll ask a few questions up front to better understand your goals. Then I'll talk about who we are and what we do, what makes us different, the different ways you can work with us, spending the rest of the time focusing on the different ways that we can help. Then, if everything looks like it could be helpful and is worth further exploring, we can set up a follow-up demo or meeting to further dive deeper into the best and most helpful solutions. Does that sound good? Make sure that they confirm that they will set up their follow-up if what you described today sounds like it would be helpful. This will ensure that you're able to lock in those next steps once you've demonstrated personalized value. This will also make sure that the topics that you cover today are exactly what they would like to cover as well. Once you've set the agenda, you want to ask some of your initial questions. Think of your meeting more like a doctor's visit than a sales meeting. Doctors need to first diagnose their patients when they come in by asking some questions to get to the bottom of it. Then they prescribe the solution. Your initial questions should be focused on the prospect's goals, priorities, and challenges. Start broad and then get more specific. For example, you might want to say, what's your biggest challenge in this particular area? Always provide context for your questions. Frame it as, many of my clients are experiencing turnover due to burnout. Is that something you're experiencing? Adding that context shows that you're asking for a reason and that you have relevant experience. This not only builds credibility, but makes sure that your questions are relevant. Once you've gathered the information that you need to determine whether you can help them, it's time to present your solution. Always tie what you're telling them about to a challenge or goal that they mentioned. Say, you mentioned spending hours on reporting. This solution would automate that process for you, freeing up your time to focus on more strategic activities. This saves our clients up to 10 hours a week in reporting that they were previously allocating. How much time do you think that would save you? Don't overwhelm them with too much information. Share one solution at a time, confirm with them that it would be valuable for their needs, and then move on to the next one. It should be a back and forth dialogue with you giving them a solution, confirming that it would be helpful based on their needs they told you about, and then moving on. Back it up with stories and real world examples, so that way that gives you more credibility and brings it to life. Say something like, one of our clients experienced a similar challenge. Once they onboarded our solution, they were able to save 20% of their time. As you approach the end of the meeting, summarize the key areas of value that you discussed and confirm alignment. For example, it sounds like automating reporting and streamlining workflows would save you a lot of time. Is that right? Once they agree, lock in the next step. Great, why don't we set up a demo to show you what we've been discussing? When are you available? If you're unsure of the next step, ask them. Say, so this sounds like this would be helpful. What do you think would make sense for next steps on your end to move forward? always leave time at the end to set up those next steps. You never want to end the meeting before securing those next steps, because oftentimes people get busy, and even if they express interest, if there's more time-sensitive priorities, they will likely take precedent. To recap, always make sure that you're talking to the right people that you're most likely to be able to help. Prepare thoroughly by researching their company as well as the prospect. Come in with a game plan, but be ready to be flexible and adjust to whatever they want to speak about. Build credibility by referencing relevant insights. Outline the agenda clearly, including next steps. Ask thoughtful and relevant questions to get them to open up, and then have a back and forth dialogue with you presenting the solution to a need that they have told you about. Use stories and examples to support your solution and bring them to life. Confirm the value and then secure next steps. Follow this process and every meeting will be productive and move deals forward. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe for more B2B sales tips. Check out my other videos where I cover topics such as how to prepare thoroughly for meetings, how to tell effective sales stories. Don't forget to grab the first 3 chapters of my upcoming book, Top Sales Producer, How to Crush Your Sales Quota, on my website, andrewbarbuto.com. Thank you so much for watching. Always remember, if you're not helping, you're not selling. Thanks.